Yes, please.
Yes, Uttam sir, please.
So, hello friends. Another new change coming up. So here we are. We have with us a team from CDSL Ventures. We'll take us through the process and then we'll have a nice Q&A session at the end. Over to CVL.
Sunil, would you like to present the opening remarks?
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. And as you are aware that the new KRA validation guidelines will be implemented from 1st of November. On behalf of CDSL Ventures, we'll be presenting to you what are the changes which could be implemented with regard to 1st of November. I have my team here who will make the presentation. We have Mr. Arun Narasimhan, who's VP IT CDSL Ventures, as well as Mr. Santosh Patil, who's Head of Operations, KRA Operations, and he will make a brief presentation and thereafter we can have a Q&A. So over to Santosh Patil.
Hi everyone, Santosh here. Okay, I'm handling the operation part in the CVL from since last 14 years. Okay, we are prepared that PPT based on the circular we have received from the SEBI. This is initially SEBI has given the notification in the month of 20th January in 22. Okay, and subsequently we have got the circular from the 6th April of 22 for SEBI circular number 46 in the year 22 for the new guidelines for capital market for validation of KYC norms has come in the picture. Okay. After some subsequently discussion with the SEBI, we got one FAQ from the SEBI with the required changes in that as per the market guidelines. And so then after that, in FAQ, they are giving the timeline of first timeline by SEBI, deadline of the implementation of the validation of KYC in the 1st August 2022. And after so many follow-up with the SEBI and requested from KRAs, this is not happening in the time. We require some additional time for development. We give the representation to SEBI and SEBI has agreed for that and given the fresh guidelines to us for with the new implementation date of 1st November 2022. Okay. So SEBI has come with that circular with the validation of KYC with the limited fields like mobile number, PAN number, email ID, and Aadhar details. That mandatory validation for Aadhar-based KYC only. So is a non-Aadhar-based KYC not come under that validation part. Okay. And that this is after once KYC is done through Aadhar based data like online KYC, online Aadhar based KYC, offline or QR code based KYC in the physical mode also. Okay, in that scenario, wherever we got the KYC with the based on that data, okay, we have to complete that KYC within T+2. Visible my screen, no? All the people.
No, only the first slide is there. Next slide has not come.
Second slide.
Second or third has not come.
No. Sorry, give me a moment. Let me stop and then reshare it.
Just
give me a moment.
Make it a PPT view.
Yes, it started moving. We are on screen.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, on the fourth slide now.
I'll go back to
Go to 2. Go to 2, yeah.
Restart.
Go to slide number 2, Arun.
This is fine, sir.
Go to slide number 2 because it was stuck on slide number 1.
This is starting slide, sir. Second is actually the agenda. So I'm just skipping it. Basically, we are going to cover up all these agendas.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
the actually.
Okay, fine. Carry on.
Okay. Background, we are already give the background. Okay. The executive summary. Okay. There, as per the SEBI, SEBI has given that instruction about the validation of KYC for 4 fields. It is mobile number, email ID, PAN number, and Aadhar details. And that is only for wherever KYC done through Aadhar, using Aadhar. This is online Aadhar, offline Aadhar, okay. Or you are using the data through online KYC in the Aadhar-based KYC. Based on the Aadhar-based KYC, intermediary has to submit the data to KRA on the online mode or offline mode. And based on the online mode, KRA required some fields for validation. The database like XML file, or we require some QR code based Aadhar copy only for that. And KRA should validate that data within that 2 days, T+2 period, and give the validation status to the intermediary. NRI and non-individual KYC not in the scope at present. Okay, that letter SEBI has come with the new circular. Okay. Change at the KRA, additional gender value added in the as a transgender. Earlier, male and female is available. Some industry part, the mutual fund industry has requested that the transgender cases as coming in that investment. So we added the transgender, okay, as a T. We have introduced that new KYC status as a 07, okay. From 1st November 2022, wherever new KYC we are received, okay. After that, we are updating the status as a 07, that is valid KYC for the capital market, where intermediary can allow the investor to carry out the transaction. Also, here we for the in the validation parameters mandatory for the Aadhar-based KYC is the email and mobile. We are providing the API-based concepts also and backend process also. Okay, optional API for email ID and mobile validation is there. Aadhar-based KYC is KYC that presently is a T+10 non-Aadhar sorry. Presently, KYC verification tag is a T+10, but for new, as per the new circular, Aadhar-based KYC, we have to maintain the T+2 tag for the KYC validation updation status. And for non-Aadhar-based KYC, there is a tag of the verification remains same, T+10. Okay. For email and mobile validation, we had 2 type of option available at my end. Okay, default process where customer where intermediary has uploaded the data. Once we got the data, we are sending immediately the OTP to OTP link to customer. Okay, and customer has to click on that verification link for the validation of the email and mobile. Delivery report based validation of email and mobile number also acceptable. Okay, if the customer is not clicking on the verification link, we go with the delivery report also. It means sometime what happened ki delivery report also come late. So we are if we are not received the delivery report within 6 hours, we are triggering that OTP on the email and mobile again after 6 hours. So we are attempting 3 times that OTP on the to customer. If the 3 times OTP also we are not getting any response, okay, we have update the status as a invalid email ID mobile validation. That and we keep it the case as a hold. Second based on the API process. Okay. Due to real-time updation, validation of the email and mobile, we are give the API access also. their customer has come through intermediary portal where he is inputting some details. Okay, same details should be intermediary share the details with the KRA, and based on the details we are received, we are sending the OTP to the customer email and mobile. Okay, and once a customer has received that OTP on their mobile, same has been inputting on the intermediary's portal. Intermediary has to intimate the investor key they will receive the OTP for email and mobile from the KRA, and you have to verify that, validate that on their portal. So it's the same based on that integration, your journey is easy if you're using the API process, okay, or if you're using the default backend process, there could be the delay is happen. Aadhar validation, okay. Under the Aadhar validation, as per the SEBI, we should validate the name, gender, address, and photo. Under that photo also, we are matching with that photo with the application form. There's a real-time photo, that's a IPV photo, and a PAN photo also. So anyone we can accept that. Gender, address we are match as per the XML or QR code based Aadhar we are received, and based on that we are matching the address with the metadata. It means there is a three types of KYC where customer has upload the Aadhar, or intermediary is taking the data from the DigiLocker or offline Aadhar base, that way. So if
Ruti, we are only able to see slide number 4. Are we on that or still?
Now
still the same?
use kar le.
What about now?
No, it's on 4 only.
Give me 1 minute, so.
It has changed now.
Just changed. I think there is a relay problem.
Now you can see that?
Yeah, slide number 5 here.
Yeah. Second slide is the Aadhar validation. Have you seen that? Slide number 6 is visible.
Now we are on 5.
Still 5 is there on screen.
What happened? Just a minute.
So it is stating email mobile validation?
Yes, you can see that.
Could change to Aadhar or still email mobile?
Still email mobile number 5.
I think there is some issue in changing. So give me a moment. I'll change it here.
Now it has moved to 6.
Yeah, got it. You do the slide.
Okay.
Do a slide now. Make it this way. Proceed.
Okay, this is an Aadhar validation. Okay, as per the SEBI, if any KYC make through Aadhar, physical Aadhar or online Aadhar or offline Aadhar. Okay, in that scenario, we have to validate that the 4 fields: name, gender, photo, and address. Okay. So how we can validate that? To one is physical mode, where customer has upload the physical document, share the physical document with the intermediary. Okay, under KYC mode, we are stated as a KYC mode 0. Okay, in that case, that's a very important field on the Aadhar is the QR code. So intermediary should take that any document, any document from the customer, Aadhar copy. They should verify that this QR code is required, okay, and that QR code is readable, okay. So you have to verify first, and before you sending the document or upload the document on the KRA. So that's the first scenario. In that online KYC also, online it means what, there is the IPV is required. The customer himself, he has uploaded the document on your online portal under the online journey, and he has uploaded the Aadhar copy. So intermediary should here also verify that that QR code is required on that Aadhar, and same has been readable, because based on QR code only we are extracting the data and matching with the metadata whichever you upload on my system. Second mode is digital KYC. Under that digital KYC, we propose as a one eKYC segment. Just a minute, sir. Yeah.
We're still on slide 6. I hope we're supposed to be there.
Okay. Precisely.
So this slide, I think I'll do. It's not changing something. Do it this way. It's okay.
6 here. 6 here.
This was the slide that.
Now
it's
we're
on
to
7.
This is what you're talking about, right?
No, no, say 6.
Okay, go back. Escape करके back जाओ.
Yep, we are on 6 now.
Yeah,
correct.
proceed.
Okay. So, yeah. So we that physical Aadhar and online Aadhar, we are already discussed on that. Okay. Now that data come through offline Aadhar base or DigiLocker XML. Okay. Here also that customer online journey, or you are taking the data from the XML offline Aadhar based KYC or DigiLocker KYC. Okay. Here we are asking the XML data from the intermediary, because based on that XML data only we are matching the data with the metadata, validation of data with the metadata. Because any intermediary is taking the process the KYC using that Aadhar, offline Aadhar or DigiLocker, they got the XML file from the DigiLocker also or UID also. Okay, so that both the XML file, that XML file we require for the data validation. And that is for validation of Aadhar. This is under the DigiLocker XML mandatorily required KYC mode under 1, 4, and 5. It means eKYC OTP, offline Aadhar based KYC, and DigiLocker KYC. There only we require that XML file of the Aadhar. Yeah, slide number 7 is there. Just,
Yes.
yeah. Based on that, because of we are taking that XML data and QR code reading from the Aadhar copy. Okay, we take one consent from the customer on the application form. They agree for sharing all the information of XML file and QR code data by the intermediary. Okay. So we are already prepared that consent and share it on my portal, where intermediary can download that consent also and put it on the application form before sending to CVL KRA from 1st November 2022. Under that KYC modification, as per the SEBI rule, in case of digital mode, okay, in the digital mode, we require the digital sign application from the intermediary. Presently, intermediaries submit that KYC set of document with the text content of the e-sign, and same will be acceptable by the KRA. But henceforth, from November 22. The digital signature is mandatory in the KYC for set of document. That is a verifiable digital signature is required. E-sign signature is required. This is the Aadhar based signature. And here, another thing is that for 6 attribute also, we are preparing one modification application as well as the model. Okay, the intermediary can update the 6 attribute details like name, father name, marital status, telephone number, email ID. Okay, blah, extra, etc. That details they can update it on my KRAs system using the application form only. But that application form should be e-signed if the customer come through online portal, and they are giving the physical application if the customer submit the physical application. Here we are not asking the PAN card copy or address proof, something like that, because we are asking, we are changing only that 6 attribute only. Okay. So there also we require the digital verifiable e-sign on the application form. We are earlier also we said that we implemented API for email ID and mobile validation. Okay, and other option we are implementing from 1st November. This is other KRA modification. Okay, at present CVL is providing the API for KRA new KRA insert updation and fetching of data. Now onward from 1st November, we are giving the other option for other KRA modification also in the real time. Presently, we are not giving the real time modification, but 1st November you will get that real time, because as per the new process, KYC should be verified within the T+2. So for new KYC, a new API document also we are uploaded on my portal. Okay, we'll share the path also to all independently. Okay, and based on that, file structure also little bit change. Okay, so updated file structure we are already upload on my that upload on my site. Okay, same should be we are providing to circular. We are sharing the circular also. Okay, and we are giving the path for same. We are introducing new KYC validated status from 1st November. Wherever customer has processed the new KYC from 1st November 2022, we are updating the KYC status as a 07. That is for valid KYC for capital market, for allowing investor to trade in the capital market. As per the circular, that is that new norms implemented for new KYC from 1st November 2022. Prior 1st November 22, that existing KYC status as a KYC verified is a valid till 30th April 2022. It means from 1st November you will get 2 status. One is 02 as a KYC register, and second 07 is the KYC validated, and both are valid status for the capital market account opening and investment. Okay. It's the existing Aadhar OVD in the 180 day. And as per the SEBI, second thing, as per the SEBI, from 1st November 2022, within 180 days, we have to validated that existing record. Okay, prior November 22, all the record we should convert as a 07 or 07 or hold anyone. So from May 2023, okay, all the status converted as 07 or hold, something that way. Yeah, these are the document we are preparing for all intermediaries. Okay, there's a CVL KRA process note where we are already giving the all information. Okay, you please go through that document. There's a very helpful document for all intermediary. And if any questions or any doubts has come, you can write to CVL helpdesk also, or we are providing the email ID and mobile number. You can write them also. Okay. Also, for API documents, also we are sharing with that new. There's some changes are there in the API document. API chain document, matlab that document we are specifically creating that document because within that big document matlab you're challenging for chasing the new changes and all this thing. Okay, so we are creating separate document for you, only change document, whatever change in the API document. SFTP document, because in the SFTP we are changing some method where you are uploading the document, where you can upload the XML file, okay, and PDF file. That SFTP document help for you. File structure, there's the upload file structure is available. Okay, based on that, you can check that whatever change happen in the upload file format. Also, we are providing the Aadhar consent, which we have to give it on your application form, okay, and take the applicant consent for further sharing of data with us. Yeah. Finally, thank you. Thank you for listening me. Okay. Any question? We can start the question session also.
Sure. Ashokji, your question, please. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Members, as requested, please raise your virtual hands for Q&A session.
Before that, I need something. So now the OVD stands for officially valid document.
That's right.
Now,
Yeah.
when you KYC, there are currently two ways of doing KYC: offline and eKYC. Offline KYC is probably a person walks into a broker office. He gives his KYC documents. We load it, we attach it, we upload it, so on and so forth. One of the things he can also give is a masked copy of the Aadhar card. And everything is a wet signature. He's standing in front of me with the IPV. And the second is, of course, the non-face-to-face, where he just comes online and does whatever the eKYC, geotagging, blah, 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 and gets the eKYC done. Correct?
Correct.
So now, obviously, part 2 is definitely Aadhar based. It's clearly, it requires you to do it in 2 days. Even the part 1, even if somebody gives a copy of the Aadhar card, this falls under this process?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Because SEBI has said that any KYC using Aadhar
As the OVD.
offline.
If a client comes in with a driving license or any other, then this process is not.
Yeah, correct. That record is not come under the validation.
Okay, that is not validated. No, this part is clear. Part 2.
Yeah.
Now, if a client comes to me, say on Monday, and says, "Boss, mujhe KYC karana hai." So on Tuesday morning, definitely he can. I'll do the UCC. My UCC will get activated. From Tuesday, I'll start trading for him, or probably I'll open a demat account immediately. Now, within is it 10 days or 7 days? I have to upload the data to KRA, right? I forget how many days it is. Is it 5, 3?
10 days it is.
10 days. 10 days it is, right? So
right.
on 1st January, the client came and started trading with me. On 1st January, I opened this demat account. On 2nd, I opened this trading account. All is well. Within 10 days, say on 10th January, so I'll do 1 day before, 9th January, I loaded the data to KRA. Now, KRA is going to do its own KYC verification of the PAN, Aadhar, email, and mobile. And within next 2 days, it will update the status.
That's
So
right.
suppose on 11th, the KRA update says status ki boss tumhara gadbad hai. Yeah, in the sense tumhara verify nahi hua. Sorry, I'm using not a perfect word. In that case, as a broker, I have to immediately stop trading for that client, as per the SEBI circular. Is this line of thinking correct? Or have I missed something?
No, there is a change. There is a change with you have to refer to the circular. The current circular of validation circular clearly states the KYC of the customer should be get onboarded at the SRA end only after the KRA validated status is obtained.
All right.
So effectively, unless otherwise you push the data to KRA, share the documents to us, we complete the validation process, respond with a 07 status, the KYC of the customer should not be onboarded onto your back office system.
All right. So basically, if a person comes, so the new process would be when a client comes to me and says, hey, I want to open a Demat account with you. So I said, thank you very much. I take out part A of the documents. I upload it to the KRA. KRA approves, or it could be either through API or through offline process, depending on the size and operations. And after it becomes 07, only then I should open the Demat account or the trading account. Else, I would be probably non-compliance of the requirements of law.
Perfect.
Okay. And if obviously I use the API process and all, it could probably be done instantaneously. Otherwise, anybody who's doing an offline slow and steady way would probably have a longer onboarding process. However, the exception is if the client comes with a driving license or other than Aadhar as a proof of identity, then there's no difficulty. You can have a passport, a voter ID card, driving license, NREGA job card, National Population Register, जो 4-5 चीजें हैं, that वो हुआ तो I can, it's business as usual. But if I use Aadhar, then there would be some lag. It depends on the efficiency of the intermediary. Now the intermediary, the KRA, and the client. I suppose that is in that sequence.
That's right.
Okay. And I'm not talking about good or bad. I'm just trying to educate the members that this is what we are getting into.
Point.
Yeah.
Point.
Thank you, Uttamji. Ashokji, your question, please.
Yeah, and one more thing, friends. We type questions, but by the time we start reading the questions, often the questions are answered. So I would really appreciate if everybody raises the electronic hand, and based on electronic hand, then we'll turn on your mic. We'll be able to hear your voice, and then we'll have a proper discussion. So, Wispy, over to you. We can switch off the PPT if possible.
Hello.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Let's move to the Q&A.
Yeah, yes, sir. Ashokji, your question, please.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Sir, I have two questions. One is the XML files validity type. In the circular, it has mentioned that we have to upload the XML file within the T+3. Which I fetch the data from the DigiLocker, and the KRA must be uploaded to the CVL agencies within the three days. Am I right?
That's right, sir.
So we need to proceed the journey of the client within the 3 days till the e-sign. If client cross the e-sign for the 3 days, then we need to get the data from the DigiLocker again, and then proceed for the KRA. Otherwise, we have to reject the form. Correct, sir?
Not really. We can. This is a common feedback that we receive from all intermediaries. In fact, what we have decided internally is there is a field by name application date as part of the data. When you create the data, there is a field by name application date. All I request is pass on the date on which the DigiLocker has been fetched. On that field, we will be able to validate your KYC based on the DigiLocker. I'll quote it with an example. On 1st of October, you have completed a DigiLocker KYC for a customer. And then for some reason, the application went on hold, and subsequently on 6th of October, you have completed the e-sign of the customer. So technically on 6th or 7th, the data will be pushed to KRA. The XML date will be of 1st of October. So the 3 days difference is higher. So in order to handle that, what we propose is just while creating the data, there is a tag name by name app application date. If you are calling an API, or when you are doing a data entry in the front end, there is something called as an application date as part of the KYC creation. Just pass on the date on which the DigiLocker is completed on that. From there, we will be able to validate it. Is that clear?
So as this example you have taken that we have faced the data on the 1st of October and proceed the KRA on the 6th of October. So date has been expired, no? So इस केस में नहीं होगा. Am I right?
उस केस में ही बोल रहा हूँ सर. उस केस में अब आपका creation date in KRA is 6th of October, which is right. But on part of the data, there is a field by name application date करके एक field है.
Okay.
आप 1 अक्टूबर का डेट डाल दो, हम लोगों का वैलिडेशन वो डेट के ऊपर चलेगा, ताकि आपका केवाईसी का डिजिलॉकर का वैलिडेशन जो सेबी का जो गाइडलाइंस है 3 दिन का वैलिडेशन उसी के थ्रू चलेगा एंड पास हो जाएगा सर।
ओके, गुड गुड।
Nair ji, your question.
Sir, which are
Yes,
the 6
please.
attributes you mentioned? Name, email,
We
mobile.
can't hear you. Hello.
Your voice is very low.
Yeah. Sir, can you hear me now?
No, please.
Little better, but we got the question. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are questioning on what are the 6 fields that you are proposing.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Santosh, पूछिए कोई क्या क्या है जो भी तो सपोर्टिंग का जो 6 फील्ड होता है ना, क्या क्या फील्ड है करके।
Yeah, there is a email ID, mobile number, marital status, father name, and net worth and gender. These are the 6 fields.
Mobile, email, marital status, gender.
Mobile, email, marital status, gender, income, father name.
So for this only the application form is required.
For these only the application form is good enough for me. A digitally sent application form
or physical
or a physical wet signature application form will do.
Okay, so one more question, that is the auto read PDF, which the format that was shared earlier. So you have the updated format available for the same?
We have already shared a suggested, matlab a recommended PDF format
with the latest changes.
With the latest changes, yes, of course.
Okay.
You can refer to that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. If you still have any doubts, you can drop in a mail to CVL help desk. We will be happy to share it across with you again.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Preeti ji, your question, please.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes,
yeah. So in the latest SOP that we have received on Thursday, there is one line which is mentioned, stating that intermediary attestation on the application is needed even for online, offline eKYC and DigiLocker cases. Can you elaborate on this? Because this is the latest document that this line is mentioned into.
Intermediary attestation is not for what? Supporting document or only application form?
It is not on. It is written on the application. The SOP which is received on Thursday.
No, nothing else, because the attestation is not required anywhere, because if you're coming through online, okay, and with the valid OVD, and in case of valid OVD, we are not asking any attestation.
Yeah, so that's what my query.
This is Preeti, right? Preeti from, if you don't mind.
JM Financial.
Preeti, I'll come back to you, Preeti. I'll cross check and then come back to you.
And Preeti,
right after the meeting, I'll come back to you.
Preeti, just share that point, that document with the highlighted.
Yeah. It is point number 5. So I will share it. No problem. I will share it separately on a mail.
No problem. No.
Okay, the next question is there is a SEBI circular of April 6, 2022, which states that for non-OVD, though I've asked this question, but in the forum I need to seek that clarification. Is that yeah, for non-OVD Aadhar, the Aadhar number is mandatory. There are 2 lines in the SEBI circular, point number 3 and point number 12, where it states that, but in all the process notes that we received from KRA, it is clearly mentioned that non-Aadhar OVD ke liye Aadhar number is not mandatory. Though SEBI has not issued a revised circular, but this confusion is there across the industry.
We will get it clarified by issuing one more process note. We have circular to all the intermediaries. It is not mandatory. You can take it.
Yeah, that will be great. Thank you. And the next question is face match and QR code. There is a threshold limit which is given in the process note, like 50% and all. So how are we going to manage this? Because there may be my APIs will say to 25% or say 75%, but the APIs that you might be using it might not give 50%. So that application can go for the rejection or on hold. So how are we going to manage that?
As far as the face match is concerned, is that what your question is?
Yes, the face match. Yeah, the threshold limit is given as 50% for digital KYCs. So how the face match of 50% will be covered? So whether in this presentation, I could not see that face match will be validated, but in the process note, it is mentioned.
No, it is as per the regulation. Matlab circular, we are supposed to do a face match with a minimum percentage of 50.
Absolutely. So how would that be validated? Because APIs from different vendors give different threshold limits. So like we have to ensure that it is 50%, right?
You're right, perfectly right. We currently, as of now, what we have thought on the process is if the face match goes below 50%, we will route it through a manual verification process and we will make sure that to the maximum extent we will pass the case.
Okay. So do we suggest to have common APIs with the SRI and the KRA so that the rejection doesn't go down or doesn't increase? Because 2 e-signs, again DigiLocker, 3 days issuance date, and all this will make the process more complex.
I understand. So you are expecting an API from my end as far as the base of this concern?
Any suggestions which is good in the favor of the client?
I understood. I'll take it as a feedback. I'll come back to you. I cannot commit it on the forum right now. Let me think on it and come back to you.
Yeah, and the similar point is the QR reading also. Because if we upload the QR code wala Aadhar, whether it is in the online mode or in the physical mode, the QR reading, the SRI is supposed to do as per the circular. But even then, there can be a mismatch like face match. Like I might use some APIs which will give QR code better way. But what about a common thing?
See, the QR code, as far as the QR code is concerned, it's a standard one. The Aadhar QR code, which is generated post 2020, I would say. That's what the latest change that happened in Aadhar current. They started giving a secure QR code.
Yeah.
That is readable using the Aadhar QR code app, Aadhar app, predominantly.
Absolutely, but the moment I scan it,
whether you do it or I do it, it's one and the same. We're not going to use any third-party one. It's obviously an Aadhar QR code reader which I'm going to use. If you still expect an API around it, I will note it down. I'll come back to you after discussing internally. So basically, the market requirement is an API for face-off and an API for QR code.
Absolutely. So the question for QR code was for the reason like 200 DPI is required for the scan which is uploaded. So when I get a QR code, I am able to read it. So I upload it considering that I have validated the QR code, but it might not be readable at your end for whatsoever reason. So that is also going to be a practical challenge.
Point noted, Preeti. I'll come back to you on this. I've taken your feedback.
Okay. And there is one very typical situation which I wanted to discuss. Say from May 2023, I may be going very, very long, but still this needs to be discussed. Say for example, with an example, I am Preeti. I have opened an account with say XYZ company already, and the KRA is 02 code as per the current. Now on 1st November, I'm opening account with JM Financial. So JM Financial is supposed to give all the data as required, and the 07 code is awaited. Okay. So I will get the 07 code because I have opened account from JM Financial. Now I'm going and opening an account with say ABC company. Okay. Now in the interim, I have changed my address in the Aadhar. Say when I opened account with JM Financial, I was at Borivali. Now I have changed the address in Aadhar, say Andheri. Now after changing the address in Aadhar, I am going to ABC company to open the account. Now what ABC company will do, they will fetch the code. So the code is 07.
Okay.
So they will receive the Borivali address.
Okay.
In the KRA fetch, we are not doing KRA fetch, we are just fetching the code. So if the 07 code is updated, I am not supposed to send the data, or sorry, ABC company is not supposed to send the data to KRA because the client is validated and allowed to trade in the ABC company.
Sure.
But the address that I receive in the ABC company is of Andheri.
Okay.
In such scenario, what an SRI is supposed to do? ABC company should do what?
ABC company should raise a modification with KRA, submit the documents, and get the revised Aadhar validated.
So that is a normal process he has to go?
Preeti, this process goes even today.
Yeah, true. But I am not supposed
to... based on 07 and everything. Right now, the status is KYC verified, which is 02. Okay. And there is a change in address. And as Preeti, you are submitting to ABC company.
Yeah.
The ideal responsibility of the ABC is to raise a modification with KRA and get your address changed.
Absolutely. But
So
ABC is correct. So ABC company is not supposed to stop him from trading, right? Even though there is an address, and it will go as a modification.
It will go as a modification. Once again, it's a gray area. I leave it to the market. As a KRA, I don't want to comment anything on this.
So, yeah, that's a multi-million-dollar question, Preeti. Can I allow the client to trade or not? Would it be non-compliance? That is the main point, right?
Yes, that is the main question.
So
yes.
if I have a client who's 07, but their demographic has changed, क्या मैं उसको सौदा करने दूं कि नहीं? I'll set up the modification form and you take your time. If as a arm of the regulatory authorities, you make a message that no, I cannot trade, I will not trade. If you say I can trade, I will trade, no problem. It's the client who will suffer, not us. But we need clarity for the point of view from the way it is written. Probably just because 07 I can trade, but if it is otherwise, we would really appreciate if the KRAs in conjunction with the authorities come out with a appropriate guidance.
Yeah. So this is parked as of now. We will consider that since it is a 07 code, so probably we should allow the client to trade in the ABC company.
Yes.
Okay. Now, since we are discussing on the parameters of the validation, what 4 or 5 parameters that we have discussed. So this parameters, if went on hold, or it will be put on hold or rejected in itself, because there are 2 status which are coming with CVL. One is hold if it is a very minimal changes that the SRA is supposed to do, or it will be rejected. So we wanted to understand on what scenario it will be rejected, where client might have to go and e-sign again.
Okay. See, Preeti, as per the circular, as KRA, I am supposed to validate the KYC within T+2.
Yes.
Just to give an indication, I don't want to wait for 48 hours and give you a status that no, it is not being verified. I'm giving an indication if at all something on the validation process is failing at my end.
Okay.
Or probably I have validated his email ID, mobile number, and Aadhar. Those are the key fields, basically.
Right.
I might place it on hold with a relevant record, relevant message, because hold comes with a reason for the hold. So based on that, you can take a call subsequently to proceed with the trading.
So we can say if email, mobile is validated, and
email, mobile, and Aadhar. Predominantly, my Aadhar is also mostly 99%. I would say it is automated for validation.
Okay.
So I should be able to achieve the verification process of all these things probably as soon as I receive the image, plus max top line, I would say about 8 hours.
Okay.
So I don't want to, the balance verification process might take some more time from my end. So what I can do is I can put an intermediary hold status if at all anything of this is failing, so that the intermediary can immediately respond to me with a rectification of data or whatever rectification that needs to be done from the intermediary, so that we can make sure that the record is getting verified within 48 hours.
So appropriate rejection codes will be available, na?
Yes, that's right. As part of the remark, you will get it.
So that is in the API, and even the manually, if I'm uploading the KYC for 07 code, the manual,
be it manual or be it API, for me, it's one and the same.
Okay. Okay. So the last question, though it was answered 3 days issuance wala date, yes, but application date, what was answered, I am really not able to understand how is that going to be the because the 1st October date is the application creation date. As per the example provided. Now, 6th October is the e-sign date, or the date when I'm submitting the application to the KRA agency.
That's right.
Now, it is crossing 3 days. Still, you will accept the 1st October date. That's what I wanted to little more.
I'm giving a benefit for the intermediary. So you want me to stop it? I'm open for it. I know the practical difficulty what the market is facing. I know the practical difficulty what the market is facing. So I'm giving a solution towards it. Okay. Other solutions are always welcome. I'm open for it.
So currently it is okay. If you want it to be blocked, let us.
You want me to block it? I'm open for it.
No. That's 3 days issuance.
But currently it is open. Thank you very much. Yeah. Unless there's a regulatory indication, no, this is not acceptable. It is right now acceptable.
There is a regulatory.
Okay, great. If it is acceptable, it is really great. Otherwise,
the team has gone on record and said it. Now let's move ahead. But
Okay.
some very, very good points. Thank you very much. There are some questions you asked, jiska answer aapko pata tha, but you asked for the benefit of others. Really appreciate that.
yeah. So there's one more last question which I just wanted to ask is, say for example, I am opening account in the physical mode. So in physical mode, as per the process, QR code wala Aadhar is mandatory. It can be a QR code physical, or it can be a e-Aadhar downloaded from the Aadhar website. But if the client is coming and giving me an DigiLocker wala XML and the XML generated PDF, is that possible to accept it in the physical mode?
Point number one, to my knowledge, DigiLocker has stopped issuing PDF.
No, DigiLocker has stopped issuing, but
correct me if I'm wrong. To my knowledge, it is there. They used to provide PDF. They have stopped it long back, about a year back, if I'm not wrong.
Absolutely right. I will plot a scenario. I will plot a scenario here.
The customer is coming out with the DigiLocker XML.
Yes, I will plot a scenario for the benefit of the forum. Is client has come with a DP trading account to be opened for, say for example, in GM. Okay. Now he is coming only DP account. Now with a different KRA, with a different address on the XML or whatever. So ideally it is the right one. I am getting a QR code. I can verify it. I am getting, there is an issuance date which we just spoke about. We will just park it aside. And I will attach it with a physical form. And I will also attach the XML copy in the SFTP for this particular account. Is that possible?
That is possible. Just make sure that the QR code that you are accepting is not beyond 3 days. While you are accepting the XML.
So your 3 days we will keep.
If you are accepting a DigiLocker XML from the customer, you will be able to validate it. At the time of you receiving the XML, make sure that it is T+3.
Okay. So 3 days validation will come in this scenario for sure.
3 days will come for any scenario for that matter, even including this scenario. There is a regulation there. There is a circular from SEBI April 20.
But we spoke about, I think I am confused now. We spoke about 1st October and 6th October in the digital journey.
Pass the date. I am asking you, pass the date on which you received the DigiLocker XML is what I am stating.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, sir.
Okay, I am asking JM to pass the date on which it received the DigiLocker XML.
Okay.
So in this scenario, let's say customer walked into JM on 7th of October. Okay, he walks in with the DigiLocker XML. So JM will collect it. While collecting, make sure that you are validating the T-3 at your end.
Okay, got the point. Got the point.
If the XML was generated prior to 4th of October, you don't even accept it. You tell the customer you generate a fresh XML and share it across.
Okay, got the
point. And you pass the date as 7th of October, so the things will go smooth.
Okay. Got the point. The last question for mine, though I think it is answered. Interop cases, if there is there in the validation process, so the TAT will be almost the same if it is the same agency, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Thank you. Shrenik ji, your question, please.
Hello.
Shrenik ji.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Sir, with reference to email and mobile verification, wherein it is said that 3 times verification will be done by the KRA. So, in case client is not confirming. So,
it is not 3 times verification, sir. We will attempt it 2 times to get the delivery status at least.
So 3 attempts. So say in case first attempt only, you got delivery status as delivered to the client. So basis
I will not attempt it again.
So basis of that we'll be able to proceed, right? So first.
Yes, that's right. That's right, sir.
So in that case, second and third attempt you will not be doing?
I'll not be doing.
Okay. Thank you.
Prashant ji, your question, please. Mr. Prashant Rane, your question.
Hi, yeah. Good evening. We wanted to confirm that this process is only applicable to not in KRA client.
No, it is applicable for any customer, be it not in KRA or in KRA also. So in short, it is for fresh to market customer or existing KRA customers for whom the modification is getting raised.
Modification. Okay. And what if it's a new in KRA customer who is opening a new account?
In KRA customer who are opening a new account with change in data or without change in data?
Without change in data.
I don't think it is required, sir. Will you be raising a modification claim? Without changing in data, is you just downloading.
I'll rephrase this. A client walks in. I'll rephrase Prashant Bhai's question. A client walks into my office. Hey, I want to open a trading account with you. Please take my KRA data, whatever it is, it's fine. I don't want to change a line of it, my email, mobile. As long as it is 07, I can jolly well go and open the account, open his Demat trading account and start working.
Here you can. Uttamji,
he's already in KRA. He's already 07 and there is no change.
Perfect. You can proceed further, sir.
Yes. Prashant Bhai,
okay, so in case of 02 and 07, in both the status, we can consider and open the account, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So my second question is, if
so for example, then at the time of in KRA, he has given a specific phone number. Okay. Will that be cross-verified with the existing phone number?
That process will happen if subsequently, although the regulatory clearly states that if it is an Aadhaar-based KYC, we are supposed to validate the email and mobile. But as CVL, we have internally taken a call that we will validate all email and mobile subsequently. To start off, if it is an existing KRA customer, we have 6 months time. So within 6 months, we will be attempting an email mobile delivery status for all the records.
Okay, no. So for example, I mean, just to be clear, so let's say a customer puts in email, mobile, and then PAN card. So with the help of PAN card, we figure out this is an in KRA client. Okay. Now, once that KRA data is fetched, will it also cross-verify whether the email ID and mobile that is entered now, it matches with what is available in KRA?
At your end, you mean to say, your question is, you will be cross-checking at your end whatever data that the KRA is returning is the same as what customer has entered? Is that what your question is? I didn't get your question.
Actually, yeah, maybe so. Okay, maybe is that a requirement that we have?
Rephrase your question with your permission. You're saying that I came as your client and I said, please depend on, I'm an KRA individual who could be 0 to 07. I said, depend on my KRA data and open my account. And I give you a mobile number, email ID, which is totally different from that in the KRA.
Yeah. So what? How currently?
That's what you're asking, Prashant, right?
Yes. So what happens?
So in this case, question number 1: am I required by law to modify the data in KYC in the KRA? Correct. CVL, if you could respond to that, that would probably answer the question automatically.
Yeah, so I think the PMLA is very clear, stating that in case of any, if the SRI is aware of any changes, he is duty bound to update it in the KRA. That is one.
So the moment, Prashant Bhai, we are supposed to update it, it's a modification.
Yeah, he has to update it with the modification, and once it comes with the modification, we will validate the email and mobile.
Prashant,
I think I think what it means is that we have to put an internal check, because when any KRA, any account opening happens online, customer first gives email ID, phone number, and PAN all at one go. So that would mean that we will have to first cross-verify and then accordingly proceed with the.
So basically, वो खाली PAN डालेगा, बोले फिर हम KRA से खींचेंगे, फिर email, mobile. I don't something of that sort. No, we'll have to create something.
Yeah, the entire flow might need to change in that. Okay.
Or probably the flow would be you take the email, mobile, PAN initially, you do OTP based check, so you know is real, and then you say, boss, you have given a different number than the what
KRA. Do you want to proceed or
do you want to replace it with the KRA or want to modify? He says, what I want to modify. So ठीक है बेटा, लग जा काम पे.
Okay, yeah.
And if he says no, please use the KRA, no problem. ये तो मेरा temporary mobile है. चलो great. start ready.
See that Uttam, that anyway we are doing it today, not tomorrow. Today, when you fetch a PAN based fetch data based on PAN, you display it to the investor, and only when he says okay, you proceed. If he says no, I want to modify, that's when you raise a modification.
So Prashant, I think that answers the question.
That process is already in place. I don't think it's a major change.
Okay, and then are we fixing on, like, in a lot of in KRA clients are pretty old, like could be 5 years, 10 years. Are we also thinking about a cutoff on what would be in KRA client, any specific date?
See, there are two things here. One is SEBI has very clearly stated that we have to only validate the Aadhar based KYC records. They have said existing records have to be validated in 180 days, and new records will be validated by the KRA by T+2. These are timelines mentioned. So if your existing customer is coming, has done KYC using Aadhar, yes, he will have to be validated within that 180 days, which has been stated by SEBI.
No, our question was regarding, let's say, in KRA client, somebody has done. So we also get when was the last KRA done at the time of when we check the KRA status. So let's say somebody has done their KRA 7 years or 10 years back.
Prashant, even today you get it.
Yes, we get it.
An enquiry, you get it. App status date is what the date that you need to check.
So we can onboard that client, right?
On the enquiry, when you do a status enquiry in KRA.
And if KRA doesn't have a OVD as an address proof, then?
We as part of this change, we are actually, all KRAs are actually going to expose if the KRA is of 02, KYC status is of 02, what is the proof of address, OVD, that the KRA holds. That we are mentioning whether it is Aadhar or not.
Okay.
So if it is Aadhar, we recommend you or we request all the SRIs to raise a modification with the latest Aadhar data so that the record can turn into 07 as easy. So it's a kind of a revalidation process that the SRIs can do, and subsequently the data will get much clean. Am I clear? Hello?
Yeah. So you just to paraphrase, you're saying that if OVD doesn't exist, or if it is not Aadhar based,
nothing called as OVD doesn't exist. Obviously, there will be an OVD. When you do a status enquiry, we from November 1st, effective November 1st change, as part of the enquiry, status enquiry, all KRAs started returning you what is the OVD that is available against the KYC record, along with the status.
Okay.
So
because
if the OVD status is Aadhar, then within 180 days, the record will get verified. If there is an issue, we will get into hold and we will offline take it up with the respective intermediaries to get it rectified, to get a revised Aadhar document so that the record can be verified.
And if it is non-Aadhar?
If it is non-Aadhar, it will be lying at 02 and proceed as it is. Intermediaries or SRIs are always welcome to bring in an Aadhar so that the record can turn into 07 ASAP. So the email, mobile, both get validated.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashant.
Question from Anand Rathi Group.
Sir, two questions. One is already answered, that interop TAT will be same. One question with respect to delivery report. In case client does not click on the verification link, then we said that on the basis of delivery also we will authenticate email and mobile. So what is the TAT? What is the TAT for that delivery report? If
So
delivery
the
report,
the current TAT is as early as 2 minutes, as late as our observation is as late, it can go up to 48 hours.
Or earlier?
But 90% of the record we get within 4 to 5 hours of time zone.
Means
with the current stats that I am talking about.
So verification link sent to the.
I'm able to get a delivery status yes or no within average, I can say about 4 to 5 hours. So.
Okay. So means if the KRA agency send the verification link to the customer and customer either he gives the OTP or within 4 to 5 hours you get the delivery report.
Okay. To answer your question straight away, we are not planning to wait for the customer to come back and enter the OTP. Okay. Based on the delivery status, the record will be validated. The status will turn into 07 as soon as the other factors of the validation is get completed. Although this is happening, so let me complete. Give me a moment. Even though this is happening, the customers are always welcome to click on the link, come and validate with a valid OTP.
Okay. So right? We can understand minimum 4 to 5 hours.
That's right.
Okay.
I'll repeat this, Arunji. What you're saying is, when it comes to email and mobile verification, we'll simply send a message. If it gets delivered, that's good enough.
That's good enough, sir.
We don't need the client to do anything.
I don't need the client to do anything. I welcome the client to come back to me with a valid OTP.
But if he'll have an option to validate, but if it doesn't, the life doesn't start. Oh, lovely.
Okay, thank you.
Devji, your question, please. Devji.
Yeah, hi. This is Dev from Preet's team. So I am more from online KYC part. So I have 3 specific questions. Am I audible?
Yeah, Dev, well and good.
Yeah. So one is, we said that when it is a DigiLocker or offline Aadhar mode, 3 days is the TAT. So if a customer comes on a journey, does a DigiLocker probably stays back on the DigiLocker stage for 3-4 days, come back again and do e-sign? Do I need to do DigiLocker again if the 3 days are gone?
Not necessary, sir.
Okay. So one time DigiLocker is enough. If he comes back and signs after 7 days also, that DigiLocker date will be the 7th of e-sign date, or the time I have downloaded the...
Time you have downloaded is what I recommend.
So then that 3 days will go away, no? If it's e-signs after 7 days of download.
My validation is of T+3. So instead of calling the date on which you create the KRA, I will go and validate against the date that you are passing across. That is why I suggested you pass the date on which you completed the DigiLocker application.
Got it, sir. Second question is more from technology side, wherein the API which are shared of mobile and email validations are individual APIs, or do I need to send email and mobile OTP together?
Combined API, sir.
It's a combined API. Okay.
That's right. There is a flag available whether you want to validate 1, 2, or both.
Okay. So I can give 2 calls, one for mobile and one for email if my journey says so.
You can do it, sir. That is also supported by the same API.
Okay. And the third question is, since we need now e-sign on, this might be have asked on other forums also, since we need to do a valid e-sign instead of text. So for customer of online journey, he need to do 2 e-sign, one with the KRA application and annexures, and other is with the broker KYC application and the annexure, because broker will also have its terms and conditions, right?
Correct. This is a verification required on the set of KYC document.
So the online customer while doing the journey will do 2
verifiable at my end also.
Right. So that is the reason we need to ask customer to do e-sign 2 times. So he need to go to NSDL or the respective e-sign authority 2 times for signing.
Correct.
Okay. I think that's it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yogesh, your question, please.
This is with respect to the consent to be taken from the client to authenticate the CVL KRA.
Yes.
Just wanted to understand more about this consent. So is it going to be a web page wherein the client has to give a consent, and this consent need to be embedded on the KRA application form as well?
That's right, sir. We recommend you to embed the concern. A static concern has been shared across also.
Okay.
All you need to do is replace the company name and then embed it as part of your application document, be it physical or be it this thing, sir, digital.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Niteshji, your question, please. Niteshji, your question. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm Nitesh here calling from Dalal & Broacha. if I using the normal mode in KYC, so API can compulsory?
No, not really.
It means it's not compulsory points, right?
API is never a compulsory, sir. As CVL, we support manual data entry, a bulk upload of data, or an API. You can choose any one.
Okay. And my second question is, hello.
Yes, sir.
The OTP sent from CVL, right? Can you clarify that the OTP sent from CVL to customer, right?
Okay.
So can you clarify that?
Okay. As
If
CVL,
one not understood.
okay, not an issue. As part of the circular, the KRA has to validate. Can you mute yourself so that for the best interest of everybody can listen? Thank you. So as part of the circular, as KRA, we are supposed to validate email ID, mobile number, and if it is an Aadhar based KYC, the Aadhar source data has to be validated from the KRA standpoint. So as CVL, we have come out with facilitation process because of late predominantly every customer is getting onboarded through an online channel, wherein the email mobile validation is already in place as far as the SRA is concerned. Each and every SRA has their own APIs to call the SMS provider or an email service provider to validate the current email and mobile. We don't want to disturb the journey too much. So what we thought, and let's ask CVL to complete, let's merge these two processes into a single one. So we have come out with an API process wherein customer comes to the SRA portal, he enters his email ID, mobile number. The SRA has two options. One, continue with the existing one. No worries, you can still go ahead, validate at your end. Subsequently, I will validate with my own process as a backend process as soon as I receive the data at my end. That goes as it is. As an alternative process, I have exposed my API. So instead of SRS calling their own SMS service provider and email ID, you can call the API that I am sharing, which is an optional one from the CVL KRA. So on behalf of the SRA, CVL will trigger an OTP. SRA will capture the OTP at their page from the customer, call one more API to CVL, which is a validation API. So I will validate whether the OTP that I've shared across with the customer is same is what the customer has entered on the SRA portal. So once I validate and the validation is successful, I will return you with the reference number. So when you're creating the KRA subsequently at my end, all you need to do is just pass on the flag as Y email mobile validated and pass on the reference number that I have reverted to you so that my validation process will get skipped over. Am I clear? You have any more doubts?
Nitesh, Nitesh, you understand?
Nitesh, unmute yourself, please.
Yeah. I'm understand. But my third question is, I'm using we are modified data in interop model, right? So it can be mandatory for OTP authentication.
See, this process that is stated right now, I can use it for my validation. I cannot force. Can you mute? Thank you. So Nitesh, as I pointed out, the process that I quoted right now, I can validate for CVL. I cannot validate for NTML or CAMS or CARB or BSC or .x for that matter. So they have their own validation process. So that over in case of interop modification, what will happen is, I believe respective KRA will have their own validation process for email and mail. But you are still open to use mine. I don't have an issue in that. At the same time, I'm not compelling you. You have to use mine. It's an optional field. It's an optional process that I'm proposing, just to facilitate your customer onboarding facility.
Bhavinji, your question, please. Bhavinji, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Regarding the two e-sign, can we provide full KYC as per your format in your sequence? First, all this pages as per your KRA requirement. So we can live with this.
No, I'm not able to hear you properly. Can you repeat?
Regarding to e-sign process in the digital KYC, can we provide with the single KYC PDF with your format? In this, first sequence is your as per your requirement, and this later on our parts. for the verification? Can you with the two side?
Mr. Bhavin, I'm afraid that is not possible because you will get into a compliance issue. I will get into a compliance issue if you're planning for a single PDF. I don't mind accepting it. I don't mind accepting it if you're going with a single PDF and sharing across your entire form with me. As KRA, I will accept it, but be aware that if subsequently somebody is requesting for the data and image, I will share the entire list of it. I will not cut across your PDF and then share it across.
Okay.
So that's a bigger risk that you are sharing across with the market. I am open for it, sir. Up to you.
Okay.
Markesh ji, your question, please. Yes. Markesh ji. Rastogi ji, your question, please. Rastogi ji, please unmute yourself. Umesh Kumar ji, your question, please.
I having 2-3 questions. First of all, if the customer is already KRA verified and they comes to us and modified their data during the journey, right? Then it's compulsory to wait for the validation for the transaction, or should we allow them to a transaction because it's already KRA customer?
Sir, I believe we answered this question earlier. It's a SRI call. As KRA, I don't have any say on this.
Okay. The
It's
next
a market call. I leave it to the market.
Okay. And if the KRA kept on hold or reject the data like live photo or name and something else, then it's again we need to collect the live photo, e-sign and generate the PDF and then upload the KRA, right?
You're talking about the modification or fresh to market customers?
No, for all the customers, sir. Modification as well
If
as
it is fresh to market customer, then obviously you have to go back to the customer. So modification of data, once again I leave it so because the original KYC is not touched. So if there is a change in data as far as the customer is concerned, then obviously you have to go back to it. I'm afraid.
Okay. And the last question is verifiable e-sign is compulsory for fresh as well as modification cases, right?
For modification, it is mandatory. For fresh to market customers, we can consider that, sir. I don't see a challenge there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Consider it as an exception. I don't see a challenge there.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Markesh ji, your question, please.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm audible?
Yes.
Yeah, my question is on existing data. Okay. Obviously, there could be data where the client has updated data on his Aadhar, but not updated on KRA records. So there could be huge data that the KRA would be validating that data, and I think after 6 months, that could be kiosk where I think a lot of clients' Demat account will be freezed based on that KRA not validated. So how KRA is going to give us that data? So and how much time intermediary? I think intermediary को कितना time मिलेगा? वो भी I think there is nothing written in circular. So if you can highlight on the same.
Good question, Markesh. To start off, the current circular is effective for new customers that are entering into a market or existing customer whose data is getting modified effective November 1st. For as far as the existing KRA data, we have 6 months time, which is getting end by April 30th. So once we go live by November 1st, probably give us a couple of weeks. We will start going back on the analysis as far as the existing data is concerned. We will touch base with the respective SRIs with the specific set of data if at all we face an issue, sir. And don't worry, we will mutually go back to the customers. We will facilitate some process over it. Both you and us will mutually go back to the customer to get the data verified, sir. Even we don't wish the KYC to get rejected or put it on hold or not. Okay. I know we can understand what is the market chaos that is going to happen. So we are with you. Just give us some time. We will definitely come back to you. We have 6 months time. Don't worry.
Okay.
Sanji, your question, please.
Yeah, hi. My question is in sub-KUA setup, how this will work? Like suppose we are fetching data from sub-KUA only. So will my approval will be on the fly and we can start immediate trading?
You are informed from
IFL Securities.
IFL, okay. I believe you have got your sub-KUA? You are a sub-KUA?
No, we have not got yet, but maybe we'll get it soon.
Got it, sir. So once the process with regards to sub-KUA is a little bit different. As you rightly pointed out, it can be very instant because as a sub-KUA, you will be processing through one of the AUA. I believe, let's take an example that CVL is the AUA and you are becoming a sub-KUA CVL. I'll be fetching the KYC on your behalf. So I already have the data and I know the source is already validated.
Right.
What you need to do is validate your email mobile, which will also can be done as far as the Aadhar data is concerned, or we can on the fly trigger an OTP. So the onboarding of the customer can be instant, very instant, sir.
Right.
As you rightly pointed out.
Correct. So the approval part is still, I think, pending from UIDAI for many of the brokers. So what is the update? Like how soon we'll get it?
I don't think CVL can declare on behalf of UIDAI.
Irfan, I'll take it offline with you. There are progress happening, but not substantially, as you rightly pointed out. I'll take it up offline with you, Irfan.
All right. Thank you.
Let me answer that, Arun. There are 91 entities which have been approved by the Department of Revenue. In case your application has not been approved by Department of Revenue, you need to give your consent to CVL. CVL will give it to SEBI and SEBI will pass it on to UIDAI thereafter. So that process will take some time to get the approval from Department of Revenue. In case the approval Department of Revenue documents have to be given to UIDAI to get your license key. So that's the status right now.
Nikhil, can you please mute yourself?
Nikhil.
Vishnu, can you mute Nikhil, bhai?
Yes, sir.
Irfan, as I said, as rightly pointed out, I'll check your application status and then I'll take it to you offline.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Nikhil ji, your question, please.
Sir, I think it's done. Nikhil has already been done. Nikhil, you have any more questions?
Rastogi ji, your question.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, थोड़ा जोर से बोलिए लेकिन.
Yeah. So, sir, my first question is in the modification, whenever any user wants to modify their email or mobile, any of the 6 attributes. So in that, we will be sending the application form. Along with the application, do we also need to send PAN and Aadhar details along with e-sign?
Not as long as you are changing only the 6 fields that I quoted right now, or sometime back, you don't need to submit any other additional document, just an application form with filled in data, with the completed with an e-sign will do for me.
Okay, but other than 6 attributes, if we have like let's say nominee details or let's say bank details or address
Nominee
details.
bank is not there in KRA, sir. I cannot comment anything on that.
Okay, and for the address, we would be requiring to send PAN and.
If you touch any change in the address, it has to be supported with a full application form, supporting document like PAN, OVD, digital signature, wet signature copy. Full set of document.
Email and mobile.
If it is only email, mobile, income, father's name, gender, and marital status, then only an application form digitally signed will do for me for modification. Any other field that you are touching, you have to give me a full application form.
Okay.
Nayaji, your question, please.
Yes, sir. So actually now it is mandatory for us to open the account as per the name and PAN site. So when we pass the account as per the name and PAN site, in most cases we see a huge difference compared to the Aadhar name. Now when this validation of the name field is getting automated, will that not be affecting, like most cases will get rejected, right? How is it being processed?
Thanks for pointing it out, Nair. As part of the, we got to know about this issue and there is a solution that we have worked it out. What we are planning to do is, in case there is a huge mismatch because of the name matching is failing, we will go and verify whether the PAN Aadhaar seeding flag is yes or no. If it is yes, we will proceed further now. Am I clear?
Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, sir.
Even if the name matching is failing and Aadhaar PAN seeded flag is getting us by, the application will not get rejected, the application will get validated.
Okay, 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 sir. Yeah.
So Benduji, your question, please.
Sure, thanks. So one of my question is, so in case of PAN validation, so PAN validation will be required for both the processes, onboarding, which is activation, and modification both.
That's right. That's right, sir.
Sorry.
As KRA, we do that already. Tell me, sir.
So that will be a process in both the cases, right?
That is the
Second,
process in place in both the places. That's right, sir.
okay,
Proceed.
sure. Second, when KRA is checking with PAN, I mean ITD for the PAN status, it also checks for Aadhaar seeding. So will
That's right.
Aadhaar seeding be applicable in existing client cases when a modification request is raised?
Yes.
Okay. And is Aadhaar seeding mandatory requirement for making status as under process, invalid, and fraud at KRA
No,
end?
no, sir. Not really. I cannot
Because
do
it was
that.
mentioned in the document
I
that
cannot do that.
Aadhaar's.
If that is the case, I'll check the document and then come back.
Sure.
But I cannot do that
Sec.
because Ministry of Finance has given time to the end customers until March 2023. I cannot force the customer before that.
Okay. We'll
Yes,
wait to. So please do check and let us know. I mean, if you
I'll
can
do that,
send us
sir.
like.
You are Mr.
So,
Sudhendu from
Shubhendu from 5 Paisa.
5 Paisa. Thank
Yeah.
you. Come back to you, Sudhendu.
Anandji, your question, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think
there's a
there's
question.
another question I got offline. The gentleman is unable to connect on phone, so I'll just read it out. It says that client KRA was registered 10 years back. Bank statement was given as proof. Do I need to do something? Is my existing client all right so far?
Is that the question, sir?
Sorry?
Is that the question?
Yep, this has been asked. That should be responded to.
Perfect, sir. Okay. So the question that you have asked is client KYC was done 10 years back with a bank statement.
As address
Do we
proof.
need to raise a modification is what the question is.
Yeah.
Okay. As part of the re-KYC, every SRA is doing a re-KYC as of today, every 2 years or 1 year?
Yeah, every 5 years, 3 years, yes.
Whatever it is. So if there is a change, obviously you have to raise a modification, sir, as per regulation.
Thank you, Arunji. Thank you for answering that. I knew the answer, but I thought it's always nice for
Thank you, sir.
Question from 00771.
Sir, my name Anil Kumar, calling from Geojit. I just want to know one clarification regarding the 6 case attribute. You are telling that there is 6 parameters mandatory to update the KRA record, but in the newly implemented form, there is a income related information is not available. Whether it is mandatory or that
Income is an optional field in KRA. It is there. It is an optional field in KRA. I believe as part of re-KYC, you guys are updating the income. So I would suggest you pass on the details to it so that it can benefit everybody.
Okay. I just want whether the form is not available without form, we can update the data entry only.
No, income proof. I need the form from user. If there is a change in 6 fields, also I need an application form from you, a digitally signed modification application form. I don't need the supporting documents, but application form becomes mandatory, sir.
Yeah. Just because of recent form, it is not available. That is why I am asking. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Navita ji, your question, please.
Yeah, so if a client is a DOB mismatch case, okay, so what will be the process in the new
Ma'am,
KRA?
the current process proceed as is, ma'am. You have to take it
Yeah,
up offline with the KRA.
but validation will be 3 days, right, sir?
Ma'am, if there is a DOB mismatch in the sense it's a fresh to market customer, I believe, then
We can
DOB mismatch. I believe.
Hello.
If it is an existing, is he an existing customer to KRA or fresh to market, ma'am?
Yeah, both. If both scenarios, sir, what happened?
I'll take it up the second part. He is a fresh to market customer. DOB mismatch in the sense there is a mismatch between the data that you are passing across and the proof that you are submitting to me.
Yeah, so we need to give the proof, right? What about if the existing client having a DOB with different? So how
Existing
we?
DOB mismatch, I believe I will not be accepting the modification if there is no fetch happened from your end.
Correct, sir. So we need to follow up with your.
I will block you at the fetch of data while you are passing the PAN number and DOB. Over
Okay.
there itself, I'll give you an indication that there is a DOB mismatch between the data that I hold and what you are trying to request. You have to take it up offline to the KRA.
Okay.
Get
So,
the
but
data
that will be same, right? It will be, if we take the correct DOB from the CVL end or whatever other pause.
That's
okay.
right.
So suppose that tag will be same or it will be remains unchanged.
That starts from the moment I receive the data and image at my end.
Okay. Okay. So suppose if the Saturday, sir, we receive, so it will be 3 days or
working days.
Working days, right?
Working days now.
Yeah. So it Saturday will be included, right, sir?
No, the Saturday is not included. Working days.
Not in. Yeah, yeah. So we can say ki if given a
Monday to Friday, 48 hours, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Got it, sir. Got it. Yeah, understood. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Harshji, your question, please. Harshji, please unmute
Yes,
yourself.
I'm audible.
Yes.
I'm audible.
Yes.
So my question is around the details of the Aadhar, wherein we are saying that the code will be received as 07 in case of client is validated post 1st of November, and we will simply download the data, which is fine. What my question is around basically, let's suppose if a client has changed the details, how me as a intermediary will come to know that client details on Aadhar or other documents has got changed versus which I have received from KRA?
There are two ways to check it out. Point number one, you can do an inquiry wherein we will start indicating you what is the status that is available, whether it is 02 or 07. And if it is 02, if it is 07, obviously it is Aadhaar based OVD. If it is 02, there is one more field available for you to identify what is the OVD against which the record is verified, which will indicate you whether it is Aadhaar or non-Aadhaar. That's one way of That's one way of doing it. The second way is once you fetch the data, it will give you a clear indication what is the proof of address.
Okay. Let's suppose at the time of onboarding the client, my client has provided me with a 03 mode, which is the documents which they have provided on a scanned copy. And due to XYZ reason, the scanned copy does not have a proper quality of the QR. So now going forward, when I get a rejection from KRA, my client changes the mode. I roll back the client, and my client changes the mode to 01, which is a XML mode. So in that case, do I need to delete the files that I have kept on SFTP for mode 3, or how
You
it
don't
will
need to
work?
delete it, sir. Point number one.
Sorry?
Once you submit the file into my SFTP, my
Hmm.
process will automatically move the file out of the current location, sir. That's number one. So deletion option can occur for you. All you need to do is give me a revised document, sir.
Okay.
So in this scenario, what I recommend you is you don't need to change the KYC mode. All you can do is go back to the customer, ask for an offline Aadhaar, and share it across with me so that I can do that.
Okay. So,
That's an alternative that I can think of.
changing the mode is like Any issue for any particular reason?
Why do you want to change the mode, sir?
Um, for the ease of the customer, let's suppose my client says that he wants to go with the different mode which he has provided earlier
The mode
for
doesn't
XYZ
matter.
reason.
Other based, if it is other based OVD, mode doesn't matter. Be
Okay.
it a physical mode or an online mode or an offline mode, it doesn't matter for me. Everything has to be validated only. So changing mode doesn't add any value for you.
Okay. Other than this, one more point was there. Just a second. So the QR code has to be like some. There has been some validation that post 2020 only QR code will be acceptable or something like that, or no? It is not there.
No, it's not like that, sir. All I
Okay.
said was post 2020, Aadhar has made a change in the QR code. They started issuing a secure QR code. It doesn't mean that QR code that was generated prior to that is an invalid one.
Okay. This is from my side. Thanks.
Anandji, your question, please. Anandji? Anandji? Uttam sir, would you like to say something? There are no hand raises now.
So there was one question. Somebody said they cannot, they're unable to turn on the mic, so they put a written message. How often do we have to keep checking PAN status to know if the status is 2 or 7 for fresh KYC submitted? You just marked my question away. Sorry.
I would suggest you, Uttamji, I would recommend do it once a day, sir.
Sorry?
Do it once a day.
Once a day. It's not hourly or doesn't make sense.
But it doesn't make any difference.
There's also a question on any format for attribute change. Any format you're giving?
For attribute?
Attribute change modification form. Any specific format you're giving or just the
No,
standard modification
we
form?
don't insist on a specific format. Although we recommend a format. We recommend a format.
It could be a letter too, right? So, it could be a simple letter, right? Ki, dear Mr. Intermediary, please change my old data from this to this and signed by the client. That's good enough, right?
Nai Uttamji, I believe we have a application form. We recommend you to use that basically.
Yeah, it's highly sorry. The modification form is it's recommended. Basically.
That's right, sir.
All right.
Plus, we are in the process of automation, so if we get a static form, it will be easy for us.
It becomes easier.
It's mutual for both of you, sir, so that the things can move on faster.
Uttamji, we insist that new application form also. We insist you use that my application only because of that application is already trained in that OCS system.
All right. Okay, that answers the question. So I think Lalitji is not on the screen, so
Lalitji would not be able to. He is some work. Yes. Yes.
So on behalf of Brokers Forum, thank you, Team CVL, for asking for helping us organize this webinar and reduce a lot of first November questions to 10 December questions, 10th October questions. Sorry. I hope after this webinar, number of phone calls to the help desk will go down. And if they increase, they'll be more specific and many of the basic questions are answered. So thank you so much. As BBF, we try a lot to improve education for our members. And if the rules of the game are the rules of the game as set by the regulator. If we don't like the rules, we request the regulator to change the rules, modify the rules. But then not following the rules is an option not available to any of us. And CVL has been, CVL and other KRAs have always been helping our intermediary community to solve all issues as well as we can. Get in operation efficiency, get in ease of doing business in whichever way possible. So thank you very much for that. So with that, if CVL officials would like to say a few words, we can call this meeting to a close.
Yeah, thanks, Uttamji, thanks Lalitji, and thanks we speak for giving us the opportunity to reach out to all the brokers and the depository participants. Thanks once again.
Have a good evening, friends. Bye, everyone.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.